and welcome to another edition of the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. Now, it's not a new thing when party chairmen face upheavals for different reasons. As we can remember, PDP former chairman Iyorchia Ayu, Senator Adams Oshomole, not excluding Uche Secondus of the PDP in moments before now. And currently the APC chairman Abdullahi Ganduje, he was suspended by his ward executives only a couple of days ago for bribery allegations, with so many events following in that timeline. The latest in that tale is a federal high court in Kano issuing an order barring the ward executives of Ganduje ward from implementing the purported suspension, stating that status quo be maintained across the board. Now that will be the fulcrum of our discussion on the platform this morning. What actually is happening in Kano State, especially the APC, and of course the main protagonist, if that's a positive thing to say, talking about the APC chairman Abdullahi Ganduje. My name is Wisdom Thomas. There's a first segment to this program and there is another which will follow after. However, I have my guest already joining us virtually. I'm talking about Yusuf Abdul Salam. He's a legal practitioner and as well a journalist. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes, good morning, my brother. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go straight into it. Tell us, what is the political atmosphere like in Kano State? I mean, given the back and forth, suspension and counter-suspension, court orders and counter-court orders in the wake of the entire crisis, which of course hovering around the APC chairman Abdullahi Ganduje.
Yes, thank you very much. You may as well say it's an atmosphere of confusion as it is right now, because from Monday up till yesterday, which was Thursday, we have this back and forth, and nobody seems to know actually what the true situation is as it is. So the atmosphere generally is that of confusion in the political arena in Kano State.
Now, looking at the entire debacle, Yusuf, one would be thinking, I mean, based on comments credited to the embattled APC chairman, he is already fingering the NNPP helmsman, Rabiu. And some are thinking, is it possible for the current governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf?
Very possible. But whether or not it is true that the government in Kano is instigating this, we're not sure, but it is possible.
Now, it leaves an air of doubt, Yusuf. When you look at it, how on earth is it possible for people who are not members of a particular party, not to talk about being executive members, to go out on such a charade, if I would call it that? I mean, it looks really unlikely, don't you think so?
There are so many unlikely things in the political arena in Nigeria. That's why if in Nigeria we do obey the law and we allow the law to take its course, everything would have been unraveled. For example, if the Ganduje faction are saying these people are not members and are not leaders of the ward of the APC in Ganduje ward, then certainly it behoves on Ganduje and his clique to go to court and challenge the membership of these people and prove to the court that these people are not, they don't belong to this party, or that they are not leaders of the party, and everything will have been clear. But everybody wants to rush, everybody wants to confuse everybody. So we, like you say, is an intricate thing. And in Nigeria, you cannot say something is not possible. It is not supposed to make sense, certainly, that somebody will come from somewhere and do this. But in Nigeria, so many nonsense things are done, and some people try to make sense out of what is not sensible.
Now, just a follow-up, really, Yusuf, talking about those persons who suspended the APC chairman Abdullahi Ganduje, and these other executives. These executives said to not be part of the APC at the Ganduje ward have equally been sacked by the local government of the APC there.
Yes.
Like you said, it's looking very, very intricate.
Yes.
Let's move on, really. And some people try to add dots and cross T's and dot I's, and they think this is connected to a perceived rift between the NNPP helmsman Rabiu Kwankwaso and the former Kano governor Abdullahi Ganduje. But what do you think, if at all such exists, is the reason for the animosity between both of them?
Okay, it is very possible, but it still boils down to politics. Everything boils down to politics. What many people believe is happening today is that NNPP or the NNPP in Kano is eyeing a crossover to the APC. And because Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the leader of the Kwankwasiya movement and a leader of the NNPP, even across board, is not the kind of person who want to come to a party and be under Ganduje because of the political animosity between the two of them. So he would rather prefer that Ganduje is done away with from the APC, so that they can cross into the APC and they don't have to now be answerable to Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, who is a political enemy or a political foe. So the whole thing boils down to how can we get him out of the way so that we can come in. That is one aspect of all this shenanigan that is happening. And some people believe that the presidency or the APC at the national level may be interested in having the Kwankwasiya people in APC believing that they have more political value in Kano politics than the Ganduje faction.
I mean, I like this part you're talking about, and so let me take it from there. I had wanted to find out from you if you think, I mean, from the point this generated to the point where we are at the moment, that Abdullahi Ganduje, who is the APC chairman, is getting some level of support in a trying moment like this from the villa, or looking at those at the top pyramid of the ruling party in the nation. Do you think they've offered any form of support, or they've just allowed him to face the sound of the drums?
Well, from the way it looks, if you look at the way things are done in Nigeria, it is very unlikely that Ganduje is having the support of the villa, because in the first place, you will have believed that the NNPP in Kano, if at all they have a hand in this, will not have the audacity to go after the national chairman of APC if somebody in APC is not emboldening them.
That's
if you get what I'm trying to say.
That's interesting, really interesting.
Yes, exactly. So for somebody to go all this way and be going after the national chairman of APC in a country where APC is and every day in Kano, the governor at every opportunity will salute President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and he'll say that he believes he's a good leader. Things that will tend to suggest that he is very comfortable with the president as it is now. So Ganduje's group is already nursing the fear that the rug is about to be pulled from under their feet. So I don't think Ganduje is having the full support of the villa in this particular scenario that is unfolding as we are.
Well, if you're just tuning in, it is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, and basically we're looking at the political implications of the APC leadership crisis. It's been about Abdullahi Ganduje, the chairman of the APC, and I'm sure you know that they are the ruling party in the nation. And so far, I've been having a chat with Yusuf Abdulsalam. He is a Kano-based lawyer and the publisher of the NigerianSketch.com. Let's stay with the main person, the character in this particular story, Yusuf, talking about Abdullahi Ganduje now. You are seeing that the body language of the president, including other leaders in the party, appear to be off in terms of his challenge at this moment. Is it safe to say that as much as he is embattled, his own ambition and his role as the helmsman of the APC is equally under jeopardy?
Certainly. Very, very well. In fact, the whole issue gravitates around his leadership of APC. That is the crux of the matter.
What do you think are the reasons these persons are uncomfortable with his manner of leadership?
Yes, for like you pointed out earlier, he is a political foe, a political adversary to Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, even though they are the best of friends, what you may call the best of friends at one point in the past. But when they now splitted ways, the animosity between them was so grave, was so intense, so much so that nobody between the two of them will want to bow for the other. So, if Kwankwaso is trying to cross over to APC, he wouldn't want to cross over to an APC where a Ganduje is in the leadership seat. He will prefer a situation where Ganduje will be out of the way, and they will now have to have the hold of the APC in Kano itself. So he will determine who will be the chairman of APC in Kano, who will be in the APC executives in Kano, and people who will be hobnobbing with the presidency and APC at the national level. I think that is the whole idea. And if this succeeds, it means Ganduje is already a goner, and it also means his political career in Kano State is seriously in jeopardy. It may actually be ended. What we don't know is whether he will have a soft landing somehow, where they may give him something that will get him out of the way.
I'll drag you to that point in time. However, I want us to look at the implication of all of these on Kano. We more often than not say that when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. Does it affect governance there in Kano State? Does it have the propensity to affect how things are going there in terms of leadership and other things? Because obviously leadership and governance at the ultimate is about the people.
Yes, I think it is. If you look at an objective analysis of the performance of the Kano State governor as it is, you can't score him anything high. Yes, exactly. Governance in the true sense of it is suffering. You can hardly point at one thing that is tangible which the governor of Kano State have been able to do since he came into power. In the first instance, he was battling election petition from the tribunal stage up to the Supreme Court, and when that one is done, now they are into a political issue which they are battling with Ganduje right as it is now. So, like you say, governance is really suffering in Kano. As it is now, if it is like this, he may not be able to match the performance of Ganduje as a governor.
Which is an irony. Which would be an irony.
Which will be an irony if it happens like that. Because Ganduje will, people, if you analyze Ganduje's performance, you will have so many things to point out which he was able to achieve as a governor, despite all some other negative aspect of his government also.
Two more things before I let you go, Yusuf, this morning. One is the fact that we're talking about the ruling party in the nation and their leader is embattled. for different reasons, for political reasons, for issues of bribery, which are allegations stemming from the Kano state government, which of course under a different party altogether. Doesn't it affect the party in the larger scale? And maybe this iota of doubt in the minds of Nigerians that if the party cannot handle their issues, especially a top personality in the party, then how possibly can they manage the nation with the inherent problems and challenges bedeviling it at this point?
Yes, but you see, in Nigeria, politicians will tell you that party wrangling is a normalcy, that it is actually bound to happen, and that in fact that is part of party politics, and by extension part of politics generally, and democracy as it is. So they will tell you that it's inevitable. The only thing that they need to do is to know how to resolve whatever problem they have on their own. And truly, if you look across board, you may tend to believe this is so. In PDP, as we are speaking to you, they are there battling their own internal issues. Even a relatively new party, which people see as a shining sun on the horizon, the Labour Party, is already battling its own issues as it is. So these political parties in Nigeria will tell you it's a normal thing, that internal wrangling is part of democracy as it is, and they will tell you that they will resolve their issues internally. Whether or not they do, it's left for us to see as time goes on.
Now finally, Yusuf Abdulsalam, you talked about soft landing for Abdullahi Ganduje. Apparently his adversaries are getting the better of him, stealing a match in terms of who calls the shot in Kano State. Do you think that if things go south, that he would have the courage to stay back in the APC, or does he now port to other parties just to find safe haven?
Yes, I think that may be the recourse in the long run. It is possible, because I hold this serious belief that if Ganduje shifts from the leadership of APC today, all these issues may go away. So, because they are taking him to court, and you know, he has no option than to go to court in the long run, no matter how much he will run. So, in Nigeria, they may bargain that, okay, I think you should do, step down, don't embarrass this party, and that is what they have started at his word. If it is true that these people are truly from the party, at the top, it will come to a time when they will tell him to actually step down, and now convince or urge the enemy government in Kano to stop going after him. And the soft landing may be that, okay, maybe let's send you to one country somewhere as an ambassador, so that you can go there and cool down before things get calm. So it's possible, if push comes to pull, that he may on his own resign and allow things to go on in a more peaceful manner.
Well, that's the situation in the All Progressives Congress APC in Kano State, in line with the embattled APC chairman Abdullahi Ganduje. And of course, at this point, this is where we will draw the curtain in terms of the first half of the program. However, let me acknowledge my resource person this morning, talking about Yusuf Abdulsalam, who is a Kano-based lawyer and publisher of the NigeriaSketch.com. Thank you for speaking to us and bringing us up to speed with the latest development in terms of Kano State and precisely the internal wranglings in the APC.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for staying with the flow of Godson State, and we are down the stretch on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. And perhaps to reiterate, we're looking at the crisis in the APC, which is involving Kano State APC and the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje. And I have joining me virtually at this point, Oke Ezala, Abia APC chieftain. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Well, good morning, Flo, and good morning, Ndiabia.
All right, let's start this way. How concerning is the issue involving your party's national chairman, including his ward there in Kano State? Is that a thing of worry or two, looking at the coloration of the entire allegations and him suspension, counter suspension, court orders flying all over the place?
Well, you introduced me as a chieftain, but I think I would rather speak as the publicity secretary, as the state publicity secretary of the party. And of course, my opinion may vary if I'm to speak as a chieftain of the party. But on official note, I think there is no communication whatsoever to the party, both at the national, the local government, or any of the authorized statutory organs of the party about any suspension. So simply put, there is no formal communication of suspension, no letter of suspension as enshrined and provided by the party constitution so far. There is no letter of suspension from the ward to the local government, neither is there any notice from the local government to the state chapter of the party in Kano. Neither is there any of such letter forwarded to the National Working Committee of the party in Abuja. This is the process that ordinarily a letter should go through before we can actually act on it or believe it. So I think everything is still within the realm of media speculation. But again, in Nigeria, nothing will go just that way. We are hearing by way of speculation that there is a purported suspension of the national chairman from his ward by one unknown person who claimed to be ward publicity secretary. But again, don't forget, the authentic publicity secretary of APC in that ward has come out in person and made a press conference debunking such suspension, saying that he was being cloned. Someone somewhere, an impostor, is claiming to have suspended the national chairman. And believe you me, that suspension cannot hold, because for now it has no legality.
Help us fix the dots. I mean, just connect the lines together. Those who purportedly suspended your national chairman were equally suspended at the local government level. How does it make sense if they are not part of the party and what they did wasn't genuine?
You see, there is only one record from the Akintofa local government, from the Ganduje ward. And the only record there is that those 7 persons were suspended ab initio from the party. So that is why it's still in consonant with what I said before, that these people are persona non grata as far as the hierarchy of APC is concerned from that ward. They were not supposed, as at the point of the purported suspension, they were not even APC members. Their membership were being suspended and withdrawn. And their own notice of suspension was submitted to the local government, to the state, and even to the national. And they were recognized. Their suspension was recognized and affirmed. So how can an illegal entity go ahead to suspend? This is ridiculous. But again, this is politics. Because of the clout and the person of the national chairman of the party, that is why people are paying more attention, because he is a figure. So it's not surprising.
Some quarters are believing that some highly placed APC leaders are not comfortable with the leadership of the national chairman of your party, and that's the reason this entire thing is happening. Is that the same way you see it? Are you comfortable with how he's managed the party so far, and what is your take on such school of thoughts?
Well, before coming to my personal opinion, let me answer the first question, which is whether some party chieftains are not happy or not. The truth is that there is no way everybody will be happy with what you do. Even you as a presenter in Flow FM, I can bet that not all the staff, not everybody in the management team of Flow FM likes you, no matter the lip service and what they tell you every morning. So imagine, you can imagine someone at the level of the national chairman. There is no way he can please everybody. But I can tell you that over 80% of the major stakeholders of All Progressives Congress in Nigeria are with him. The president is with him, the National Assembly is with him, the ministers, the state governors, all are with him.
What indications do you have?
He has of the party peacefully since he came in as the national chairman.
Okay, Zala, you mentioned something very key, even mentioning that the president is backing him at this point. What do you look at? Are there things to look at and say, oh, really, that's the support of Mr. President for our national chairman in this trying time? Are there things to look at and feel he's got the backing of the villa?
You see, if he is not working, if he's not enjoying the support and the sponsorship of the presidency, I bet you he wouldn't have lasted there even for a month. Even if he was put there before the swearing in of the president, he wouldn't have also stayed there in a month. Okay? So it is crystal clear that the president is supporting him, and there hasn't been any problem since he resumed this position of national chairman. He has been paddling the ship of the party excellently. In fact, the other political parties have been envying him because many thought that he wouldn't spend up to 6 months on that saddle, and he's been there. So to me, I think what is happening in Kano is just a kind of a get back from the party in control of the state, the NMPP. Okay, the Kwankwaso-led party and government in Kano State. So that we have it on good record that some, disgruntled members of the party, some people who lost at the primary of APC last time, are now trying to form alliance with the NMPP in the state to see how they can make trouble and also bring the national chairman to disrepute. But I can assure you it's not even happening, because even before their plan, we already know. So that is it.
Let me come from this angle. Okay, at this point, looking at the national chairman of your party, you appear to be at home with the entire circumstance, and your body language reads comfort, which means you don't think his position is under any serious threat. Given what you've said, you think he's going to outlive this current circumstance, and nothing at all of note is going to usurp his position as the national chairman of your party. That's to say there is light at the end of the tunnel for Abdullahi Ganduje. Is that what you are trying to say?
No, the light has stayed too long at the end of the tunnel. I am talking about the light even in the middle of the tunnel. From the beginning of the tunnel, there has been light. He came in at a time in the life of this party that we needed an administrator, a very sound human manager. And he came in, he has been able to manage the affairs of the party coherently and excellently. And there hasn't been issue. In fact, the hitherto party fracas we experienced during the tenure of his predecessor, we haven't seen such under Alhaji Ganduje. Okay, and to me that is a pass mark. And you can see he has steered the ship of this party peacefully. In fact, in the last 1 year, you have not heard of any national issue or rancor or any issue even across the states. That is, this is a man we should appreciate for bringing, unexpected calm. Unexpected because the kind of rivalry within the ranks of the party in the last 3-4 years. You have been in the media space, so you know that he has actually brought this spirit of teamwork and unity in the party. So to me, the party owe him gratitude. The party owe Ganduje appreciation. Okay, but again, there is always these homemade enemies who would not want their own star to shine. So it's not just only in Abia or elsewhere. You have them in Kano too. So that is what is happening. But then, what do you expect from a Kano that is being governed by an opposition party? So these kind of things are bound to happen. But I can tell you, this will not shake the foundations or the ranks of APC in any way. In fact, we are getting more united and stronger by the day, even in the face of this distraction. I can assure you that.
That's coming from Abia APC chieftain, OK Ezala. One more thing before I open the phone lines and get you involved, my listener. Now, looking away from, you've been supportive. I'm sure my listener can equally attest to the fact that you've sounded in the positive sense of the entire situation, making no more from the entire circumstance. However, don't you think there is a significance to all of this? If things go south for Abdullahi Ganduje, does the Southeast APC have anything to gain, if at all? The center cannot hold him continuing as the APC chairman. Anything at all for Southeast in it?
Well, if I get your question right, you are asking if he's retained as the national chairman.
If it doesn't continue, is there any significance to the situation for the Southeast APC precisely?
You see, governance, I believe, is a continuum, and it doesn't matter who is on the saddle. APC have had series of national chairmen, people well experienced, ground-rooted politicians, and if you follow that the paradigm of leadership, political leadership in APC, you will see that Southeast has been better off, with APC federal government. Look at the road from Enugu to Umuahia is wearing a new look, a facelift. Look at from Umuahia to Port Harcourt, from Port Harcourt to Aba. And then look at other federal government interventions, the second Niger bridge, and so many other things that in less than 9-10 years of APC, we have achieved the Southeasterners, what we couldn't get from 17 years of PDP, from 1999 to 2015 or 2016, thereabout. So you can see that talking about Southeast, whoever that is on the saddle in the party administration is immaterial. To us, what is important is remembering our infrastructures, renovating, reintegrating us into the national polity, making sure that Southeast, it does not lose their own share of the national cake. That is our focus, those of us in APC. Our focus is not whether APC will be governor in any way. Even without having a governor, even though we aim to lead and take control of the states in Southeast, even without having APC governors in Southeast, you can see we are leading by example. The Imo and Ebonyi state that we are leading as governors, you can see the turnaround there, you can see the maintenance, you can see a total infrastructural revamping that is going on. So to me, whether Ganduje leaves tomorrow or Alhaji Ganduje continues as national chairman of APC is immaterial. It's immaterial. Whoever that comes there will continue the good work. And then whatever we are benefiting from the national party, the APC, I can assure Ndibo that we will lose nothing if Ganduje leaves or stays.
Well, I will assume you've taken that opportunity to laud the impact of your party in the Southeast, even though it's a bit of an aberration from what I asked in my question. But time to open the phone lines, 08081826 949 or 0811-605-2949. When you call us, tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Do your best to utilize just a minute and be as civil as you can. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Hello, good morning. Good morning. That got away. Let's take another one. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Move away from your radio set. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Ikechukwu, calling from Umaya. Ikechukwu Korochukwu. Well, APC have no choice but to obey the court order, because the word is in the local government. It's chance of the state high court, because people to approach them, So far the word is the local government, it is the decision of the state high court to issue such an order. In fact, a court of competent judicial, conventional court, has jurisdiction in any matters. They don't use the word federal or state and this and this and this and this. They have jurisdiction
or matter.
What are you saying in essence, Ikechukwu?
What I'm saying that the part of competent jurisdiction have given an order. If they have any whatever reason why that court should not have jurisdiction, they should go back to that court, iron it out, and tell them that you can look, see and see. Because everybody comes from the local government. Whether you are president or field marshal general or governor or president, everybody comes from the local government. So if it is where they come from, that voted him, taking the party, to get majority to make their decision on behalf of them, says no, they are no longer a member. Insist to hold the party. Then,
thank you.
The party, I would say, APC in Southeast.
Thank you, Ikechukwu. Thank you for bearing your mind. I think you've been able to utilize your 1 minute. The judgment lies with you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Wizzy.
Go ahead.
My name is Mr. Chijuki. Wizzy, for me, I am speaking personally, on a personal note. If you ask me, I will tell you that I think by now, candidate was supposed to have been resigned. Candidate, based on what has happened during his tenure and presently, he's supposed to have resigned. Because we have seen a lot of evidence from Kano. From dollars, the way he handled dollars, packed dollars inside his pocket. From other allegations, the way he managed the affairs of Kano government. Those things are speaking. So I think the ward chairman from his Gandhiji award have been elected and he's supposed to resign. Those people speaking in favor of Gandhiji to understand that we have a rule of law that guides us in Nigeria, and also APC has also their own rule of law. So they should understand it. And I think we should can have come when we should stop covering some certain things that we should not be covering.
Okay, Chijoke,
so for me personally, I am asking Gandhiji to resign.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Let's take another one. Wow, I think my caller is on the road. Why not move away from there, find serenity, so we can have this conversation. 0818-26949 or 0811-605-2949. Good morning.
Good morning, Wizzy.
Good morning, go ahead.
I am the Pendada. My name is Obama. I am calling from Bosse, the hometown of the powerful Governor Alex Otti. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the succession of the National Chairman of APC, Alhaji Dambike, you know, before he sustained anybody from the party, it's from the world. If the world chairman has sustained the national chairman has a great problem now. He can't suspend the national chairman from the state quarter. He can't suspend the national chairman from the local government quarter. From the world. Now the world chairman has suspended the national chairman, and the national chairman has suspended the national chairman. So if the national chairman has suspended, let the national chairman of APC go and pay the crown. That is my topic this morning. I am Dr. Pendada. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. Let's continue to take your reaction before we hear from Ezala finally and call time on the program, the platform this morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you. On the line from
Go ahead.
Well, sorry, I just probably see your discussion, and I will appreciate you to actually accept me, because I'm going to actually talk from where I met you. Your guest in the house was talking about APC and how good APC has been delivering their manifesto or doing very well in some states. I want to put it straight to us here. APC has failed not only Nigerians but even the world, because the world is watching this country. Look at the state APC has put in the country. Every damn thing turn upside down. People are actually, even as I'm speaking now, honestly, I try to hold myself because of one statement you made that we should try to be stable. But sometimes I'm looking at it from the lens that people being stable, things are getting worse. It's not better that we be unstable until things can change. You see, this APC, they brought failure, hardship, difficulty. The state, your state talked about, APC doing well.
I believe you've been able. I believe you've been able.
I'm not going to say PDP is the best, but
I believe you've been able to
light everything upside down.
You've
All
been,
we are looking at now,
you've been able to vent.
So that people will actually live the life God has given us the way to live.
All right, thank
and
you.
how would that come to be?
Thank you very much for bearing your mind on the program. I mean, when you're talking and you're listening, you should equally allow me to be part of the conversation. Good morning. Move away from your radio set. Move away from your radio set, please.
Good morning.
Go ahead. You call back. Good morning. Good morning. All right, well, let me just allow the phone lines to take a breather and come back to OK Ezala. He's still on the line. You've listened to the reaction of the people in line with the discourse this morning, talking about the embattled APC chairman Abdullahi Ganduje, more so the impact of your party in the state. Let's get a few of your reaction before we take a couple of more calls and call it a wrap.
Well, thank you very much. You see, people must understand how comparative analysis works. Before you're able to do a just and sound comparison, then you should be able to know the history and understanding of the environment of the object of analysis. You don't just come out and say, oh, this one has killed you. Okay, what is the object of analysis here? Which is the governance. Nigeria is the environment, our economy. The question of APC performance should be just opposed with what you as a person has been given, how you used it. Because if there are resources given to Abia State and Abia refused to use the resources, you are not going to blame a man in Ondo or Lagos or Kano for your own unwise spending in your state. That is where the issue of federal allocation comes in. You can see what Dr. Lesoti is doing in Abia, and I commend him for that, because he has chosen to use the resources of the people. I won't say very, very well, but at least he is doing better than his predecessors. If his predecessors are doing the way he is doing currently, I don't think these people commenting, these our callers, will be crying wolf by now. So sometimes we should also look at what brought us to where we are and not just lamenting about where we are. The APC government is the first and only federal government since the Fourth Republic that has not owed any state one month allocation. Have you bothered to check what your money in Abia has been used for?
Let's take this call.
In 2015.
Okay,
so I'm talking about those who say, I just need to reply those who are talking. Somebody in is saying that things are hard. You should understand that things are hard because the man with his money is not using his money well.
You will certainly react.
Has given palliative. There are hundreds of bags of rice given to Abia State. I challenge anybody calling into this program to tell me whether they have seen where those 100 trailer loads of rice were being shared in Abia. I can tell you authoritatively that more than 10,000 bags of rice have been donated to Abia from this same APC government. Where are those bags of rice? Last time I heard that the local APC chairman, is it Osisioma or where? Hid about 400 bags. His own party men.
Okay, Zala, these are mere allegations. For what it's worth, a bit outside of the purview of what we are looking at on the program this morning. So if you don't mind, let me take a few more reaction and we'll call time on the program. Eleke Elechi on Facebook said, good morning, Mr. Presenter. He said, I am Ambassador Eleke Elechi calling from Okokuitem. And he said, why is it that APC always try to paint white black. Do politicians actually have conscience at all? Ganduje has been facing a lot of crime charges while his party has been running round the clock to stop his probe. Staying with that, and okay, you went on to say, and suspension, politicians should know one day we all will stand before the King of Justice to give account of our stewardship on earth. And Machuku Kennedy on Facebook said, good morning everyone in the studio. To me, Ganduje would have been in detention by now if and only if politics is working in Nigeria. I think that would be the height of the feedback we can get on the program this morning. Let's get your final reaction to the program, the issue of Ganduje. Some persons are being critical of the situation. They feel he should have resigned. Some feel as well that he should have been cooling off in detention, which you apparently don't accept. Let's get your final thoughts and leave the studio this morning.
Yeah, well, on the issue of the national chairman, you see, we have laws working in Nigeria, and we cannot base everything on hearsay, rumors, or even jungle justice. If His Excellency Alhaji Ganduje have been accused of bribery or money laundering, as the case may be, from Kano State, it is left for the first entry point to criminal justice to invite him, and that's the police. You and I know that the police has not invited him. In fact, there is no formal complaint or allegation against Ganduje anywhere, in any police station, anywhere. So if there is no criminal allegation against somebody anywhere, if there is no panel inquiry indicting someone, is it a concocted video aimed at blackmailing him and tarnishing his image that you want me, as sound as I am, to stay here and agree with? No, now some jobs are left for professionals. People who should report have not reported. People they have not found him wanting in any way. Why should I now predicate my condemnation on a mere video that you and I know that one enemy of his can just enter a studio and then find clips and join them together, and to tarnish his image? So what I'm saying is, as far as the law is concerned, as far as the criminal justice is concerned, Alhaji Ganduje has not committed any crime, neither has he been indicted to have committed any crime. And if that is the case, I don't think why we should demonize him here on the media. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Okeyezala, Abia APC chieftain. Thank you for coming on the platform this morning. We appreciate your contribution.
Thank you very much, Flavor.
All right. Let me equally appreciate my guest that spoke earlier before, Okeyezala, Yusuf Abdul Salam, who is a Kano-based journalist and, of course, the publisher of NigeriaSketch.com. Let me equally take this moment to appreciate my producer, Samson Eze, including Charles and Stanko behind the visuals on Facebook. And this is where we'll call it a wrap on the program this morning. My name is Wisdom Thomas. Let's continue to do our best to contribute our quota to the success of our state and our nation, believing that things in time will turn for the better. Until I come your way again, have an amazing weekend.